Hello, welcome to today's video. So today we are going to look at how to do memory analysis, heap memory analysis, and we will be looking at out of memory exception. What are the causes and what are the best practices to avoid that memory out of memory exception. So let's start with today's video. So first of all, we are going to need some file, which is which is of which is of significant size. So let's start with creating that dummy file. Okay. Uh, so I'm going to use uh, files API of Java, and also I would need yeah. So here I'm going to create that file. So here let me delete this file. Okay, this file yeah. Let's make it temp.txt. Okay, Alt enter. So yeah, path of sorry. Okay, so let's start. To create uh, dummy file, I'm going to use we have to generate dummy data, right? So for that, I'm going to use this function uh, from int stream, and I'm going to use some number. Okay, so this number I have came because out of testing, so we would be needing some few GBs of data. Okay, so for that, this number would be sufficient. So let's see. Uh, let's create output stream, or rather, we would need a buffered reader, buffer writer equal to. We'll be using files API. Yeah, new buffer reader, new buffer reader. We'll be passing path, and I will be using create constant. Okay, so here I'm going to use src path. So we need to handle exception, try catch, yes, and secondly I'm going to use closable block. Okay, so we don't have to worry about closing. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's write something in that file. Let's write some data. We'll be writing hello. Maybe yeah, we need a loop here, right? So in stream here, let me use some another name, stream for each, and uh, whatever number. Yeah, so this is lambda function. Inside that, I'm going to use this write. Okay, and write plus, let's use yeah, this number. Okay, and I would also need to handle I'm going to add new line at the end of it. Okay, so that's it. So let's run this. So here, as of now, no file is there. I'm going to run this code, and let's see what happens. So expected output is it should create some uh, one text file with some data. All right. So let's get back there and see. Oh, I think it's of 447 MB. We would be needing little more. Let's add one more zero. Let me delete that file again, and I will be running them. Okay, let's see. It's taking some time, so that means it should generate at least 447 into 0, so around 4.5 GB. That should be the file size. Okay, Will take some time. Let's see. Yeah, it's adding the data very high speed. So if you already have this file, you can skip this part of the video and go ahead. Okay, it should take just few seconds. Yeah, we are there. Okay, so now let's check the size of the file. Should be 4.64 GB. Perfect, no issues. Now I'm going to if you don't have this tool JVisualVM, I have installed it on my machine. So uh, if you Google it, VisualVM install, it will take you to this page. Yeah. So you need to click on download. If you have Windows, they also have Linux and Mac build. So install this. Once you install this, you can launch it locally. Plus, if you want to launch VisualVM from your IntelliJ editor, you can go to File Settings. Here into Plugin section. Here you need to type VisualVM Launcher. Okay, you will see here. You can install it. You will be asked to restart your IntelliJ editor. Restart the editor, and you will see these buttons over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch this. Okay. On my machine there are two JDK versions it has found. I'm going to use the latest one. VisualVM is launched. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I don't need this code. Okay. So let me just comment it. Okay. And let's move ahead to let's try to reproduce out of memory. So it's very pretty easy. If I try to read the entire file, uh, you know, using this files API, it should we should be able to see some exception. Although it's not exactly the same exception as out of memory, but it should be the main cause. Let's run it. Uh, yeah. So it says out of memory, and the message is required array size is too large. So files API directly won't be able to read these entire bytes. Okay. So another option would be if I use array list, or maybe let's say just list uh, of line, right? String. Uh, yeah. So what I can do is I can what I can do, yeah, read all lines here. So lines, and I'll just try to run this code. What happens? It runs successfully. So I'm just trying to read all lines. It is actually running. Let's go. This is the main machine. So on left hand side, we will see VisualVM, IntelliJ. So all processes running on this JVM. What I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this main method, our process, which we want to monitor. Let's quickly open it. So you can see here, trying to open that one for us. It's still running. Yeah, it's taking some time. Yeah. So it crashed Java heap space out of memory. Yeah, it got crashed. Let me run again so that we'll see the pattern over here. Yeah. Monitor. Yeah. Now look at this right hand pattern. This is heap memory graph. You can see here the maximum allocated heap space. This is amber color, and once this graph was increasing rapidly, blue color, it eventually reached to a point where both approximately 6 GB of heap size was available, And what happened is eventually my use memory, it reached to that level, and because of that I actually got this error, out of memory exception. So this is very powerful tool. You can see on left hand side GC activity happened here, somewhere around here, but still on right hand side there was just little you can see a drop in a memory usage, and it again got picked up. So this is how we do uh, memory analysis. Now let's modify our program and we will try to read line by line and print it. Okay, so here now what I'm going to do is, instead of read lines, I'm going to use buffer, buffer reader here, and I'm going to open new buffer reader. All right, simple. And again I'm going to use try closable. Okay, so that we don't have to close it, and we are going to use read line function. So we are now going to use we are going to read line by line. That is what files.api, that API was doing, but it was returning it uh, after after reading all the data. So what I'm going to do is simply print line. Okay, and we have to do this in a loop, right, till the time line is not null. So let's add that loop. Line is not null. Perfect. And in the end I need to read that, right? So that that loop will go forever, not will loop will get, it will fetch line one by one. Okay, so now let's run this and we'll remove these import functions, and now let's go to VisualVM. Okay, let me close this. Now this graph will be more interesting, and this is how the graph ideally should look like. Okay, so initial heap size, you can see the max size is 6.4 GB. That was the earlier in earlier case also, and now use memory is hardly somewhere around 239 MB is the peak, and it got no GC activity happened, and immediately uh, there was a sudden drop in a memory usage. This chart, this triangular chart, you see we are using memory, then GC happens, gets cleared. This chart is very interesting. This is not incremental. So at any point of time, my memory usage is not going beyond 239 MB. So this is how your chart, heaps memory chart should look like, even in case of any intensive operation. So if there was any memory leak, or uh, the operation which is causing intensive memory usage, it should not go like the chart that we saw in earlier example. So it should not be like a continuous incremental, so that eventually it will hit our maximum memory limit, and our program will crash due to heap memory. Okay, Java heap memory. So this is the tool I was talking about. You can use this perform GC button here. You can cause it. You see here. Okay, perform GC can actually. So my program is still going on, and you see it's very, the memory used is very less. It's hardly 17 bytes. It's very less basically. My so in earlier program we used entire 6 GB, and it was complete failure, right? My program got crashed immediately. Yeah, that's it from today's videos.